A very good morning to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. And as you all are aware that we have already completed our rapid revision series of all the theory units. Now today onwards, we'll be starting with NTA UGC NET JRF Preparation 2023 Paper 1 crash course with respect to rapid MCQ revision series, where we are going to take all the previous year questions. So before going ahead, let's understand for your upcoming examination, you have quick revision PDF for paper 1, which will be provided by Global Online. Now, this revision PDF consists of 2000 plus MCQs, updated MCQs, current affairs, short notes, previous year questions, and most repeated questions. This is available at a fee cost of ₹699. You can get in touch with us on the given WhatsApp number in order to get the copy of your PDF. Apart from that, we also have a revision course for paper 1. Now, this revision course is available on Global Online app. You can download the app. This is the interface of the app, which looks like. Apart from that, you also have various units, that is syllabus wise units are divided, where you have video lectures, where you have the study material. So it will be easier for you at one place in order to get everything. Now, let's start the session with respect. Let's start the session with respect to your MCQ series. So yes, let's get set for that. So we are going to start with our MCQs, and here comes our MCQs. So yes, now the first thing which we are going to do is we have taken the MCQs for your paper 2000 October 2020. So let's see what is the first question and what the question is about and how much topics you have to remember for this. So the first question is for the use during teaching. So it is talking about during teaching, the list is given. Okay, you have to identify the process okay, rather than the content. So in the process type of questions, what comes? That is, you have to identify the process content type rather than concept type. So you have a topic, one is process type and one is concept type. So in process type, what type of questions are included? Divergent, fact-based, concept-based, lower order questions or higher order questions. So you have to identify that these are the types, these are the options given. So that is option number A, option number B, option number C, option number D, and option number E. So you have to identify that which comes under process rather than content. So here, it is talking about what? It is talking about your options. So these options, basically, you have to classify these options into process rather than concept. Okay. So let's see how many of you are going to get this answer correctly. Let's see how many of you can answer this question correctly. Yes, I'm just giving time for everyone so that we can just ensure that time management is properly set and we are going to achieve the target. So yes, so we are talking about process type rather than concept type. So when we talk about process type, so option number 1, okay, so option number 1, it means under process, you get divergent questions. Under process, you get concept-based questions, and under process, you get higher order questions. So remember, there are two types. One is process type and one is content type. So when we talk about one is process type and another is concept type. So when we talk about process type, we have questions like divergent questions, we have concept-based questions, we have higher order questions. So fact-based and lower order comes in concept type. Is it clear? So the right answer for here is option number 1. Okay, next comes your question number 2. Now, question number 2 is from the following list given below. Identify the features which relate to approach to teaching and learning in indirect strategies. So this is option number A, option number B, option number C, option number D, and option number E. So you have to select that the features which relate to approach to teaching and learning in indirect strategies of teaching. So there are two things which you have to concentrate over here. One, it is talking about approach to teaching and learning in indirect strategies of teaching. So it indicates what? It indicates indirect teaching. So whether it is engagement in an inquiry process, whether it is concept-based content presentation, whether it is gaining attention, whether it is presenting the stimulus material, or encouraging the students to use references of their own experience. So if I'm talking about approach which is related to teaching and learning as an indirect strategies, which option stands to be correct? Which options? That is option number A, option number B, option number C, option number D, or option number E. So when we are asking about approach to teaching and learning in indirect strategies, so here your option number 3, that is option number A, engaged in an inquiry process. Then we have concept-based content presentation, and then we have encouraging the students to use references from their own experience are the options which stands to be right, which relates approach to teaching and learning as an indirect strategies of teaching. Okay, then we have question number 3, everyone, on the screen. So question number 3 is basically the statement questions. 2 statements are given. You have to identify which statement is right, which statement is true, which statement is false. So the statement 1, reliability is a necessary but insufficient condition for validity. So it is asking about what reliability is necessary. It is important, but it is insufficient condition for validity. Statement 2 says that in respect of evaluation tools, validity is not at all, is not an at all nor non-concept, but it exists as a continuum. So here we are talking about what? We are talking about 2 statements. Statement 1 saying that reliability is necessary but insufficient condition for validity. Okay. And statement 2 says that in respect of evaluation tools. So here we are talking about evaluation tools. Validity is not an all or none concept, but it exists as a continuum. It is not at all or a none concept, but it exists as a continuum. So whether both the statements are true or both the statements are false. So when we are talking about, first of all, first question, yes, first statement. So when we look at the first statement says that reliability is necessary but insufficient condition for validity. Yes, it is true. Okay. The second statement talks about validity is not an all or none concept, but it exists as a continuum. Now, what is the meaning of continuum? It's nothing but a continuous series of something happening. So yes, in an evaluation tool, validity is something which happens on a continuous basis. So like that, if you see the question number, option number 1, that is statement 1 as well as statement 2, both stands to be what? Both stands to be true. Okay. Now, coming to question number 4, everyone. So question number 4 states that which of the following assessment procedure is conducted during an progress teaching? So we are talking about progress teaching learning session. So so what is the situation over here? Situation is basically the assessment procedure which is conducted during the progress teaching learning session. So when we say progress teaching learning session, so whether it is summative, whether it is formative, whether it is norm or whether it is criterion. So if you remember in my theory revision crash course, summative we have seen which is conducted at the end, formative which is continuous basis, norm reference where do you have a comparison of one student with another, and criterion basis where you compare the student with a specific criteria or a specific percentile. So that is, so here they are talking about the process which is progressive. It is telling about what? It is talking about progressive in nature. So which is summative, whether it is formative, whether it is norm reference or criterion reference. So if it is progressive, it is nothing but it is continuous basis. So right answer here stands to be what? The right answer stands to be your summative. That is your, the right answer stands to be your formative process. So here the right question for the right given question, the right answer is formative. Okay, question number 5 now. Identify those teaching strategies which are learner-centered. Okay, so here these strategies are given. So we have to understand. So this is A, option number A, which is option number B, C, D, E. Okay, so here we have to identify those strategies which are learner-centered. Okay, so like what example? It is cooperative learning. Okay, we have team teaching, we have laboratory-based projects. We have pair share discussions, or it is lecturing with PowerPoint presentations. So these are the options we have to select. So I've just, keep it in this particular way so that you can select the right options. So whether it is what type of learning strategies, identify those learning strategies which are learner centered, okay, which are basically called as what? Which are basically called as learner centered. Whether it is cooperative, whether it is team teaching, whether it is laboratory, whether it is pair share, or whether it is lecturing with PowerPoint presentation. So when we look at the given options, that is the one which is identified as teaching strategies which are learner centered. Okay, from the given options, if you identify something which are learner centered, so those comes under the option number what? Option number 3. So which comes under learner centered? Yes. Cooperative learning. Yes. Then we have laboratory based projects. Okay. And then we have the pair share discussions. So these are the one which comes with the help of what? Which comes with the help of your teaching strategies which are learner centered. So the question was very specific regarding learner centered. Okay. Coming to question number 6, reflective level teaching is different from memory level teaching. So now this question is on levels, and I have taken this topic and I have said levels of teaching you have to be very, very clear with. So we have reflective level teaching is different from memory level teaching, because the pattern of communication that is involved is in reflective level teaching is basically what? So they are first saying that reflective and memory level teaching are different. Now, the reason is because the pattern of communication that is involved in reflective. The question is asking about what? The question is asking about reflective level teaching. So it is linear, bottom up, if it is interactional or transactional. So see, if in this question, if you have looked at this question very carefully, they have given 2 topics in one question. The first topic is teaching aptitude. They have taken where they have taken into session the levels of memory. And second thing is they have included what? They have included you the topic of what? They have included the topic of your next topic, that is communication. So whether it is, if you remember, we have done communication models, whether it is linear, whether it is interactional, or whether it is transactional. So yes, let's see now how many of you are able to answer this question. So the right option over here, if you're talking about reflective level, that is the highest level, and the communication pattern will be definitely what? It will be the highest pattern in the form of transactional. Okay, so question number 6 is basically transactional. Okay. Now, coming to question number 7. So question number 7 is, from the following, identify those features which are associated with indirect instructional strategies. That is, here we have to identify the features which are associated with indirect instructional strategies. So whether it is guided student practice, whether it is focus on concept acquisition, whether it is presenting the stimulus material, whether it is problem-based presentation, or whether it is participative and collaborative moves stress. So we are talking about what? We are talking about the features which are associated with indirect instructional strategies. So we are knowing about, we are answering the question with respect to indirect instructional strategies. So remember one more thing, you have to now concentrate on these topics about teaching, learning, instruction strategies, because we have seen 2-3 questions from this topic, whether it is direct or indirect, you should be able to justify it very well. So from the following, we have to identify those features which are under indirect instructional strategies. So whether it is guided student practice, whether it is focus on acquisition through question answer session, whether it is presenting the stimulus material in small, easy to take steps, problem-based presentation, participatory and collaborative mood stress. So let's see. So we are talking about what? We are talking about indirect instructional strategies. So when we talk about indirect instructional strategies, it includes option, that is the right option is option number 3, because it includes focus on concept acquisition. It is talking about presenting the stimulus material in small steps, and it is talking about problem-based presentation. So which comes under what? Which comes under the features of the associated strategies which are with respect to indirect instructional strategies. Okay. Now, question number 8, coming to question number 8. So, question number 8 is talking about what? Question number 8 is talking about the educational objectives. Which of the following educational objectives are considered to be of higher level in the affective domain or affective domain of taxonomic scheme? That is, it is talking about what? It is talking about domains. Okay. So now here they are talking about the teaching, okay, educational objectives of higher level. So in affective domain, what comes in higher level? Whether it is synthesis, characterization, okay, whether it is analysis, organization, or precision. So you have to put them under what? You have to put them under the higher level, okay, that is affective domain, but higher level. So from the given options, okay, you have which comes under higher level, whether it is synthesis, whether it is characterization, whether it is analysis, whether it is organization, or whether it is precision. So the one which comes under the higher level is the topic, that is the concept of what? Is the concept of characterization and is the concept of organization. So the right option comes to be option number 3, where it is B and D, that is characterization and organization. Okay. Now here they have given some points. Okay. So you have to describe understanding level of teaching. Now in the same examination, see, you got a question on a reflective level also, and you got a question on understanding level also. So understanding level, that is systematic step-by-step presentation. Okay, then it is talking about giving a large number of positive, B is about positive and negative examples, C is about insisting effective storage, D is about helping to promote and seeing the relationship, and E is about critical shifting of facts and information. Okay, so from the given option, which option comes under understanding level? These are the options which comes under what? Which comes under understanding level. So what among them comes under the understanding level? So let's see. We have option number A, systematic step-by-step presentation. We have next is giving a large number of positive and negative examples. We have insisting on effective storage of information. We have helping, to promote seeing of relationship among the facts and critical shifting of facts and information. So which among stands to be what? Which among stands to be about understanding level of teaching? So when we look at the question, the understanding level of teaching, that is option number 4. That is option number 4, that is B and D. So giving a large number of positive and negative examples to explain the concept, which comes under understanding level. And it is talking about what? Option number D, that is, it is helping, okay, to promote seeing of relationships among facts. So these are the two options, that is option number B, okay, and option number D. So option number B is giving large examples of positive and negative concepts, and option number D helping to promote to see the relationship between facts. Okay, so this is option number D stands to be what? The right answer. Then going to the next question, see, again the question is based on what? Again the question is question number 10. Question is based on the assessment, but see how the question they have given. While reporting the result of assessment, a college teacher makes use of percentile ranks in place of scores. So here the teacher is using percentiles in place of scores obtained by her or his students. What kind of evaluation it will be called? So here what is made use of percentile rather than scores? So here the answer, sorry, it is talking about what? It is talking about the criterion reference. It is talking about a norm reference. It is talking about formative assessment, or it is talking about summative assessment. So the assessment is given by the teacher. Teacher makes use of percentile ranks, okay, in place of scores obtained by the students. So it is coming under what? Does it comes under criterion? Does it comes under norm reference? Does it comes under your formative assessment, or does this comes under your summative assessment? So talking about your example, the situation. So basically it comes under what? It comes under the norm reference the norm reference option. Is it clear? Okay. Next we have two statements. So let's see what are these statements and how the statements needs to be answered. So statement 1 is program industrial material uses active responding and immediate feedback as an important principle for learning. So here we are talking about what? We are talking about principle of learning. wherein we are using what? We are using. Okay, so statement 1 talks about what? Statement 1 talks about program instructional material uses active, responding, and immediate feedback for important principle of learning. Whereas statement 2 talks about Skinner's reinforcement principle is the basis for the preparation of linear linear type of program instruction. So we have two statements. I will just read again both the statements carefully. Statement 1 talks about what? Program industrial material which uses active, responding, and immediate feedback as an important principle for learning. Statement 2 talks about Skinner's reinforcement principle is the basis for preparation of linear types of program instructional material. So from the above statement, which statement stands to be correct? Which statement stands to be wrong? Okay. So statement number 1 or statement number 2, it is either it is right, it is correct, or it is false. Okay. So yes. So when we look at statement number 1, program instructional material uses active, responding, and immediate feedback as an important principle for learning. So it is, yes, it is very important to understand that when we have the instructional program, which is, immediate it is a type of what? Immediate feedback as an important principle of learning. Yes, very true. And Skinner's reinforcement principle is the basis of preparation of linear type of program instructional material. Yes, very true. So statement number 1 and statement number 2, that is option number 1, that statement 1 as well as statement 2, both stands to be what? Both stands to be true. Now, coming to question number 2, we have done theories of learning also. So question number 2 is basically on the theories of learning. So it is talking about what? While learning theory provides support for active participation of learner in the learning process in an interactional setting with intrinsic motivation as the basis. So whether this theory is basically an SR theory of Watson, or is it a reinforcement theory of Skinner? Is it a constructive theory of Levi-Vygotsky, or either it is insight theory of Kohler? So we are talking about what? We are talking about the theory which provides an active participation of learner in the learning process in an interactional setting with intrinsic motivation. It is talking about what? It is talking about intrinsic motivation. So intrinsic motivation, if you remember, we have studied it under the constructive theory of Levi-Vygotsky. So constructive theory of Levi-Vygotsky talks about learning process as an interactional setting, okay, with respect to what? With respect to intrinsic motivation, which is done. Intrinsic, it means the motivation which comes from within. Okay, now we have question number 13. Question number 13 is about two statements. Okay, statement 1 is computer-based testing ensures higher reliability and validity. See, we have studied one question on reliability and validity. So here it is talking about what? It is talking about computer-based testing ensures higher reliability and validity in the process of evaluation centered on effective and cognitive domain. That is cognitive domain. So what is the first question? Computer-based testing. So we have computer-assisted testing and based testing, two options. Okay, so computer-based testing, okay, it is talking about what? Higher reliability and validity with respect to evaluation, which is based on effective and cognitive domain. Okay, so that is statement number 1. Statement 2 says that support material in the form of program instructional modes are a tremendous potential to maximize the learning. Okay, so now only here the first statement, second statement you can understand. Second statement is very easy to recognize. But when we are talking about the first statement is saying that only the computer-based testing ensures reliability and validity, which is completely incorrect. So yes, statement 1 is incorrect, whereas statement 2 stands to be true. So option number 4 is the right answer. Now, coming to the next, see, again on taxonomy, Bloom's taxonomy, we have a question. Identify the correct sequence of cognitive behavior of educational. Okay, so cognitive behavior of education. We have to identify the sequence from where it starts and where it ends. Okay, So when we see about, the cognitive sequence, it is knowledge. Okay, that is A stands to be knowledge, B stands to be application, C stands to be understanding, D stands to be analysis, and E stands to be synthesis. So these are the options given. You have to put them in the right sequence, whether it is knowledge, application, understanding, analysis, or synthesis. Okay, so it is basically, yes, it starts with knowledge. So if you see these two options, A, knowledge, D, it's talking about what? It is talking about analysis. But we have to know how it starts. I said from the initial step. So it starts with what? It starts with knowledge. So we know it is A. But after knowledge, what do we have? So obviously after knowledge, we have the next is understanding. Yes. After understanding comes our next is application. After application, we have the next point is synthesis, analysis, and then we have a synthesis. So option number 3, that is knowledge, then we have understanding, then we have application, then we have analysis and synthesis, which stands to be correct taxonomy for cognitive behavior. I told whether it is for affective, whether it is for cognitive, or whether it is for psychomotor, you should know their sequence very well. This forms a question, type of question. Okay, coming to question number 15 now. For optimizing learning outcomes, which of the following factors have been identified as most effective in the terms of research evidence in the global context? So when we are talking about for optimizing learning outcomes, which of the following factors have been identified as most effective in the terms of research evidence in the global context? Whether it is home related factors, or whether it is your school related factors, whether it is teacher related factors, or whether it is supplementary technological devices related factors. So here we are talking about what? We are talking about for optimizing learning outcomes, which of the following factors have been identified as most effective in the terms of research evidences in the global context, whether it is home, whether it is school, whether it is teacher, or whether it is supplementary technology. So the one which is very effective, that stands to be under what? It stands to be teacher related factors. Okay. So question number 15, the right answer is option number 3. Okay, let's come to question number 16, everyone. Now, question number 16 is on topic. What is the hallmark of reflective learning? So here we are talking about what hallmark of reflective learning. Now here, these are the options. Okay, so that is clear, organized, and well-structured content. Then we have personalized, interactive, and high level of cognitive interchange, systematic, planned, and quick revision, logical, coherent, and example-based presentation. So what stands as what? What stands as the hallmark of reflective teaching? So when we talk about hallmark of reflective teaching, it is your clear, it is your organized and well-structured content, which comes or which stands as what? The hallmark of effective teaching learning. Is it clear? So option number 1 stands to be the right option. Okay, so let's move ahead now. Let's go to the next question. Let's see what is the next question all about. So yes, let's go to question number 17. In which of the following direction of influence is mainly one way? So here we are talking about what direction which is one way, whether it is counseling, whether it's guiding, whether it's teaching, whether it is learning. So here the directions they have given, you have to identify that these directions stands about what? This direction stands to be, one way. Okay, so one way, basically, which of the following direction of influence is mainly one way, whether it is counseling, whether it is guiding, whether it is teaching, or whether it is learning. Okay, so yes, let's have a look at them. So which stands to be one way? See, they have given you one way. So the one direction of influence which is one way is learning. Okay, learning is that direction of influence which is one way. The person who inspires to learn. So it is one way journey. The reaction comes from the second way depending upon the effect, but it is one way journey. Okay, coming to question number 18 now. Question number 18 is, which of the following objectives are for performance appraisal system? So we are talking about what? Performance appraisal system, to help the employee to find his strength and weakness, okay, to have a desirable ethos. Then we have to identify people to motivate and train the new roles, to have a non-performance performers distinguished from the non-performers, and to enable the learners to understand weakness in the system. So here, which of the objectives of performance appraisal system? Actually, this concept is related to management topic, but anyways, it is given as a part of your teaching learning aptitude. So which stands to be what? Which stands to be a performance appraisal system. So from the given options, you have to identify the one which stands to be performance appraisal system. So whether it is employee finding his strength and weakness, creating desirable organizational ethos, okay, motivating and training for new roles, or distinguishing the non-performers from the performers. So if you see the right option, that is option number 1, it stands to be option number A, B, and C. That is to help the employee find his strength and weakness, yes. To create desirable organizational ethos, ethics, yes. And it talks about what? It talks about to help to identify the people for the purpose of motivating and training them for the new roles. These are the options which stands as the performance appraisal system. Okay. Now coming to question number 19, everyone. Question number 19, which of the following has been identified as key behavior in effective teaching? So we are talking about effective teaching. So you have to tell which are identified as key behavior, whether it is lesson clarity, whether it is instructional clarity, whether it is students' ideas and contribution, whether it is engagement in teaching, learning process, or structuring. So basically, which of the following has been identified as the key behavior in contributing to effective learning, whether it is lesson clarity, instructional clarity, using student ideas and contribution, engagement in learning process, and structuring. So from the given options, the one which is talking about what? Which is talking about key behavior in effective teaching is something that comes under what? It comes under lesson clarity. Yes, very true. It is something which talks about instructional clarity. Yes, because we want effective teaching. It is something about what? It is something about your engagement in learning process. Okay, so engagement, instruction, and lesson clarity stands to be what? Stands to be the one which contributes to effective teaching. Coming to question number 20, everyone. Question number 20, we have two statements. Okay, and we have to see the statement stands to be right or wrong. So statement 1, in order to be effective, teaching and testing must go together. So if we want to be effective, okay, in the process of teaching, learning, to be effective, it means that teaching and testing must go together. Statement 2, feedback does not form an essential component of formative assessment. So these are the two statements. We have to tell whether the statements are true or whether the statements are false. So in order to be effective, teaching and testing must go together. That is hand in hand or parallel, you can say. Statement 2 says that feedback does not form an essential component of formative assessment. Okay. So yes, if you look at both the statements, in order to be effective, teaching, learning must be together. Yes, very true. But it is saying that feedback does not form a component of formative assessment. In fact, in all the assessment, feedback plays an important role. So statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is false. So that is the right answer. 1 is correct. That is option number 3. Statement 1 is correct, but 2 is false. Okay. Now going to question number 21. Which of the following needs strength in Maslow's hierarchy are related to higher order learning? So they have given you the Maslow's theory. Maslow's theories is a theory about, about the desire. So it is psychological needs, it is safety needs, it is social needs, it's esteem needs, it is needs for actualization. So there are, these are the components. Now it talks about what? It talks about the strengths, need strength. So if you look at the theory, that is the Maslow's theory, which of the following needs strength with respect to higher order learning? So whether it is psychological needs, whether it is safety needs, whether it is social needs, whether it is esteem needs, or whether it is need for self-actualization. So if we look at all the options, okay, the one which talks about need strength, the need strength comes under what? It comes under your option number 4. That is the one which needs strength is your topic of esteem needs, okay, and your need for self-actualization. This is the one which needs strength because this learning, okay, They comes with what? They come with lot of, strength which is required by an individual. Okay. Then coming to next is question number 22. The communication process is active and interactive at a high level in which of the following level of teaching? So here we are talking about the communication process, which is very active and interactive, which is at a very high level, whether it is reflective level, whether it's understanding level, whether it's memory level or autonomous development level. So it is talking about which level the process of communication is active and interactive. So looking, if you remember, we have a similar type of question, but in a different way. So which level requires a high interaction? Obviously, if you look at all the levels, the reflective level is the one where you require higher interaction and energy. Okay. Coming to question number 23. When the test data tells us about a student's level of proficiency in a defined area, the procedure of evaluation is called what? So data tells us, the test data is arrived and it tells about students' level of proficiency. So it is called as formative, is it called as summative, it is called as norm, or it is called as criterion reference. It tells about the level of proficiency. So whether it is which level. So whether it is formative, whether it is summative, whether it is norm, or whether it is criterion. So the one which has the higher level of proficiency is nothing but it is called as what? Yes, it is very correct. It is called as criterion reference. Here we talk about what? Here we talk about level of proficiency. Okay. Coming to question number 24, the modality of teaching has been differentiated from training and instruction. So the modality is nothing but a verb form. Okay. The models of teaching are different from training and instruction. So which of the following has the learning outcomes? Okay. So the modality of teaching has to be differentiated from training and instructing in terms of which of the following learning outcomes, whether it is disciplined and pattern behavior, whether it is critical and creative thinking, whether it is firm and durable association, or whether it is quick feedback. So which talks about a differentiation between training and instructing in the terms of following outcomes. Okay. So whether it is disciplined and pattern, critical and creative, firm and durable, and quick feedback. So when we are talking about the modality of teaching in the form of learning outcomes, it is basically what? It is basically called as critical and creative thinking. So the one which differentiate is basically the critical and creative thinking. Okay. Going to question number 25. Which of the potential factors affecting teaching are related to instructional facilities and learning environment? So here we have given certain factors. These factors affects teaching and are related to instructional facilities and learning environment. So it is praise and encouragement by teachers, whether it is non-availability of textbooks, proactiveness in the interactive process, shortage of highly qualified teacher, or availability of smart classes. See, some options here are very negative, so you can easily come to the right answer. So let's see, we are talking about what? We are talking about which of the following potential factors affecting teaching are related to instructional facilities and learning environment. So if we look at the factors, obviously, that is option number 2, that is non-availability of textbooks and, which are related to instruction facilities and material for use. Yes, it will be affected. Then we are talking about what? Then we are talking about proactiveness in the interactive process. Yes. And we are talking about what? We are talking about the availability of smart classes. These are the instructions which will be related to the potential factors which will affect the teaching related to instructional facilities. Okay. Coming to question number 26, which of the following given characteristics are associated with a holistic learning style? Holistic, it means which includes everything. So whether it is focusing on facts and principle, relating concepts to personal experience, formal interaction with teacher related to tasks, interacting with the preferring to complete rather than compete. Okay, sorry, and preferring to compete rather than to preferring to cooperate rather than to compete, or global aspects with related to concepts and material. So we are talking about what? We are talking about the characteristics which are associated to field dependent or holistic learning. So for holistic learning, focusing on facts, relating concepts, interaction, compete rather than cooperate, or cooperate rather than compete. So which of them following stands to be correct? Okay, so from the given choice, that is option number 3. Okay, it is talking about what? It is talking about the factors such as relating the concepts to personal experience. Yes. It is talking about cooperating rather than to compete, and it is talking about perceiving global aspects of concept and material. Okay. Coming to question number 27, which of the following is indicative of innovation in evaluation system? So which brings innovation? Semesterization, project-based evaluation, choice-based credit system, or objective-based evaluation? So which brings innovation? We are supposed to talk about what? We are supposed to talk about innovation. So from the given options, innovation is brought by choice-based credit system. That is option number 3. It is the one which brings innovation. Okay, coming to question number 28, which of the following teacher competencies belong to personality? So whether it is locus of control, that is management, managing and monitoring, planning and instruction, or personalization and contextualization, which brings, which of the following teacher competencies belong to domain of personality and attitude? Personality and attitude. So which is the one which relates to personality and attitude? It is locus of control and efficiency, that is self-efficiency. Okay. Now coming to the next question, that is question number 29. We have two statements, that is statement 1 and 2. You have to say which is right, which is wrong. So interactive and multimedia systems provide a new culture for learning and teaching, whereas virtual classroom converts students into senseless humanoids. So which are right with respect to given statement? So when we are talking about statement 1, interactive and multimedia system, which provides a new culture, or virtual classroom turning the students into senseless humanoids. So yes, taking the statement, first statement, that is yes, interactive and multimedia provides a new culture, true. Statement 2, virtual classroom converts students into senseless humanoids. No, it is completely false. If taken in a systematic way, it can also show, the change. So yes, statement number 3, that is statement 1 is correct and 2 is false. Okay, coming to the last question, that is talking about question number 30, the advantages of choice-based credit system. So we are talking about choice-based credit system introduced by UGC is what? Focus on students, allow the students to choose the interdisciplinary, make students, education at par with global standards, make it estimate easy for performance level, offers flexibility. So we are talking about what? Advantages of choice-based credit system. So coming to the advantages of choice-based credit system, yes, it says that is option number A, it is student-centric, right? Option number B, it allows students for interdisciplinary, very correct. It makes education par with global standards, very true. And yes, it talks about flexibility. So these are the advantages which goes with what? The choice-based credit system. Okay. Yes. Now coming to the last part. Now, yes, students, those who are, looking for, these are the questions till date which you have done. Now, those who are looking for that is paper 2, along with your preparation, the students who are looking for paper 2 also, preparation of paper 2. So for paper 2, we have brought up the following study material, that is for following subjects you will be getting study material. These are the subjects, that is you will be getting MCQs and notes, and these study materials are available at 20% discount. That is the actual cost is 1600, but it is available at 1280. You can take the facility of this, and along with your paper 1, you can study your paper 2 also very well. Tomorrow we'll be coming up with research aptitude next questions, that is which will help you to provide a preparation for your examination. Okay, that's all for the day. Thank you everyone. See you tomorrow. Thank you.